Hi everyone, Dave here back with another video, and I figured in honor of the end of the year, I was going to give you 5 manga that I personally have really enjoyed over the course of this year. I'll give you some anime as well. Admittedly, I love anime, I watch it all the time, but a lot of what I've been watching lately is catching up on older stuff. So I do have a few that were really good from this year. Um, but mostly I'm going to be focusing on newer manga. Um, so you know what? Before I forget, I'll just shout out 2 anime in particular that I really enjoyed this year. Kotaro Lives Alone. I made a video on that if you guys are interested in some of my more in-depth thoughts. But I really loved the heck out of that anime. It was hilarious, had a lot of heart, very cute, and I hope there's more to it. It ended, avoiding spoilers, obviously. It ended on a note that makes you feel like the story's pretty wrapped up and finished, but also on a note that makes you think, okay, well, there could potentially be more to this. Um, so I'd love to see more if that happens. Another anime that I loved from this year was Komi Can't Communicate. I don't know if that started back in 2021 or whatever, but the anime at least is new enough to where I feel comfortable including it on the best of 2022 list. Even though I'm not really doing a list for the anime, but anyway, it's another very funny anime. It's really bite-sized so that you can just watch, a little bit at a time and still feel like you're getting enough and fulfilled. It's just a really solid comedy anime. Again, another one with a lot of heart that you don't really think about, but tackling certain stuff that you don't often see in anime. Um, not that it's groundbreaking in that regard or anything, but it's still like having a character who is super socially anxious is not something that you see all the time, and it's also your main character or one of your main characters. Um, having a character that's trans is also a very good step forward and one of the main characters. So I find that to be very, great representation, but also just, it adds to the heart of the anime because there's, more elements to it, I guess, if that makes sense. Um, so yeah, those are 2 that I've been watching a lot this year, or in the case of Kotaro, have watched, that I wanted to shout out. I really loved Blue Period as well. I don't know if that came out this year. Obviously I know the manga didn't, but the anime adaptation might be a year or even a few years old. But I only got around to watching it this year. But I figured I made a video on that. I really liked how that video came out too. If you guys are interested in hearing some more of my thoughts. Um, but other than that, this year for anime for me has been, either catching up on stuff or watching stuff that's old. So none of it really. I didn't have enough, at least, prepared to make a full comprehensive best of anime list. However, what I can do is a best of manga list. Now, a slight caveat with this is I some of these manga may have started in 2021 or possibly earlier. I don't know, but they are still currently printing in 2022. So I have a little loophole on that. And also, some of these may not be the ones that you may think of. Like they may not be. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a manga hipster. So I don't know. All of these could be super popular, and all of these may be ones that you guys may have heard of. But if I'm missing some super obvious ones, that's why. I either didn't read it, or didn't like it, or I like shouting out more kind of quote unquote niche manga that people may not have heard of. Um, so yeah, let's get started. So first is Deadpool Samurai. I may do a full review of this. I'm not quite sure what I want to do. That's my washer. It's going. Apologies on that. If you can hear it, I don't even know if you can. But I may do a full review on it, so I'm not going to go too in depth. But it's Deadpool. It's very funny. I love the mixing of two elements, you know, Deadpool being a Western comic character, mixing it with certain, you know, Eastern media and Eastern kind of ideals and practices. Um, you know, I find the plot to be not the best, but again, when you're reading a Deadpool comic, or in this case, a Deadpool manga, it's very much for Deadpool. You know, he is the character, like he is the story. If that, you know, if I'm making sense here, like when you have any other superhero or any other character like in a story, they may not, you know, they may add to the story, but they may not be the center of the story. Deadpool is the center of anything he's a part of, especially because of his, you know, meta breaking, you know, fourth wall breaking commentary, which I do have to say is kind of, you know, one criticism is it's the fourth wall breaking is a little heavy handed in the manga. It's like every page he's like doing something to break the fourth wall, and it kind of loses its appeal and luster when he's constantly breaking like every 2 seconds from the action to like say a quip or talk to the audience or whatever. You know, I it's been a long time. I used to read the Deadpool comics constantly, like all the time as a kid. So it's been a minute. I don't remember if he was that heavy-handed with it in the comics. He could have been, and maybe just now, just as I gotten older, you know, after seeing all this other Marvel stuff, it's a little like, okay, we get it. You know, that's the joke. It was crazy, you know, groundbreaking at the time, but now it's like, okay, you know, we get it. But really, that's the only like criticism I have, and it's not even really a criticism because, you know, other people may enjoy that. Other people may say like, oh, every other page is just some goofy thing, and that's awesome, and that's great. More power to you, and that adds to the, I think, the uniqueness of Deadpool and the uniqueness of this manga. It just, for me, it went a little too much in certain aspects, but other than that, I thought it was great. It's only 2 volumes, so it's a very quick, short read. And it's just a lot of fun. It's just a silly, fun Deadpool manga, and I recommend it. I've been seeing it everywhere lately. I don't know why. Like, in I mean, obviously, probably because it's new. Well, it should be new, right? Yeah, 2022. Good. I lucked out there. But I don't know if it's like brand new as of time of recording this video, because I've literally been seeing it everywhere, where a few weeks ago I saw it nowhere. So it must be like new, at least new in my area. I don't know. But anyway, let's move on. Next up we have another funny, very off the wall manga, and that's Mashal. I really like Mashal. I was planning on reviewing it volume by volume. I did the first 2. I don't think I'm going to keep that going because I don't think a lot of people were interested in that, because those videos really didn't get a whole lot of views, and it kind of made me, you know, not enjoy each volume as much if I had to sit there with like an analytical mind and like pick out every little thing I wanted to talk about. So I'll probably stop reviewing it volume by volume, but I will say that the manga itself is still very good. It's hilarious. It's such a clever and witty parody of, you know, of course, Harry Potter, but also just manga in general, and different like tropes in the medium, which, you know, this manga hits on the head and hits very hard, and it's very funny. There's a lot of really good action and story too, which is very interesting because it's such a silly, quirky kind of literal, you know, like I said, parody, but yet it still manages to tell a very interesting and compelling story in a lot of aspects. So yeah, I definitely, if you like quirky funniness, it has a lot of parallels to, of course, Harry Potter, but also to Black Clover. And then it reminds me a lot of One Punch Man in some of its humor and some of its art as well. Or also Mob Psycho. You know, they're done by the same author. I mean, not this one, but Mob Psycho and One Punch Man. You guys get that. But yeah, so I definitely recommend Mashal. Another favorite of mine from 2022. Moving on. This next one was such a surprise, and I'm going to be very brief because I really want to make a video on this one, and that's Kaiju number 8. Kaiju number 8 like I said, took me by surprise. Such a pleasant surprise. This manga has a lot going on, and it's a very cool, compelling read. It's, when I read, I'm a very slow reader. I have so much in my to read pile, it's overflowing. But Kaiju number 8 is one of those that came out the gate and said, you're gonna read me, dude. It punched me in the face and said, you're gonna read me and you're gonna like it. I do realize that, at least according to this came out in 2020, or maybe first published in Japan in 2020, first printing December 2021. So I'm close enough, The new Volume 5 isn't even out yet as of time of recording. It comes out early next year. So we're totally good. This is a 2022 manga. I just wanted to double check, even though it doesn't matter because I'm adding it in my video anyway. But it's just so clever with some of its themes. I won't go too in depth because, again, I really want to make a video on this. This video I'm recording now will be out first. But check back to the channel if you're interested in more of my thoughts on Kaiju number 8, because I feel like I have a lot to talk about when it comes to this one. But yeah, Kaiju number 8, if you need a quick overview, well, not an overview, but if you need a quick recommendation, yes, I do enjoy this one a lot. Next up, we have Blue Lock, breaking the Volume 1 trend that I had going here. I picked up Volume 1 of every one. I accidentally grabbed Volume 2, and I'm too lazy to reach literally a foot away from me and grab Volume 1, but you guys get the point. Blue Lock is great. I think it's been taking the community by storm. The anime adaptation came out recently, and it's been very heavily positively received. I haven't watched the anime yet, but I have been reading the manga. It is a lot of fun. I also made a video on this one, so I'll keep my thoughts a little brief. But it's just such a great concept. I love sports. I love sports manga / anime. Great combination. I'm such a huge fan of Blue Lock, and I really am excited to see where it goes, and I'm excited to see it continue to get better. It's just such a again, an interesting concept for a sports manga. And it's just a lot of fun. There's a lot of action. There's some good humor in there. It's really cool. It's just really cool. Excuse me. Okay, and then the last one here. This is another one that I believe may have started in the previous year or two, but it is currently still printing. And that is, I Think Our Son is Gay. It's another manga this is just such a very wholesome manga. The volumes aren't very big. The chapters are split up kind of into their own thing. So it's a very easy read, a very just calm read, a very, read that is just going to make you feel giddy and cozy. It's very funny. It's very cute. Basically the premise is this mother has a strong inkling that her oldest son is gay, and the oldest son obviously I think knows that he's gay, but also may not know that he knows that he may have feelings towards other men, but he may not know that he's gay, if that makes any sense. So he's trying to work through it himself, and of course mother's intuition is like, I really, just like the title says, I think our son is gay. But of course, it's this balancing act of I'm not, I want to be supportive of my son, and if he's not ready to talk or if he's not ready to come out, I'm not going to force him. I'm not going to push him. But it's just those silly situations that arise with that sort of, back and forth. And it's just, excuse me there, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a really positive manga. I'm really losing my voice right now. I don't know why. I've only been talking for 15 minutes. Apologies on that. But anyway, it's a very positive manga, some great representation. We love the the LGBTQ plus community over here. We support that, and having a very cute, wholesome look at what a family may be going through when it comes to that sort of thing is very cool and very nice, and it is just a good, wholesome book. I'm gonna stop talking before I die. I don't know if I got a cold coming on or what, but my throat is mad dry and I'm getting all red because I gotta stop talking apparently. But yeah, so those were my 5 favorite manga, at least 5 that I can think of right now, of 2022. I hope you guys, maybe if there was one here that you liked, maybe give it a read. You have the recommendation from me because it's good, and that's why it's here. I talked about a few anime as well. Those, if you haven't watched, I would say watch as well. And yeah, I've got videos coming out coming out soon. I'm trying to get back to once a week, so if you guys could subscribe, comment even, that would really help me out a lot, and I would really appreciate the support. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If anything here you didn't know about and are gonna read now, let me know. That's that would be so awesome if I potentially turned somebody on to one of these. I would feel so cool. But yeah, that's it. That's the video. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you all had a great happy holiday, and have a great new year, and yeah, hopefully we'll have a lot of fun stuff to read in 2023. Bye.